So I watched the Nightmare Before Christmas for the very first time. So what did I think about it? So I always hear the long debate about whether A Nightmare Before Christmas is a Halloween movie or is it a Christmas movie. And since a lot of people said that they think it's a Christmas movie, and also a lot of people say it's a Halloween movie, so whatever. I decided to at least try to check it out for the very first time around the holiday season. But one of the first things that actually threw me off guard when before watching this movie was actually like, searching for it to about to stream it and actually seeing the runtime of this movie. This movie comes in at an hour and 15 minutes long. I was definitely surprised in seeing that runtime. So I was like, might as well knock it out already. See what all of this hype is about. So after watching it for the very first time, here are my thoughts on it. I gotta say, one of the things that was interesting about this movie was it has a very interesting aesthetic to it. Like you definitely get some of the creepy vibes, you definitely get some of those Halloween vibes. So I can see why people said it's a Halloween movie. And it has a very interesting animation style too. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe they used some stop motion in this movie. But going along with the vibes and the aesthetic of this movie, you could definitely feel that Tim Burton had a hand in making this. And while watching this movie, I was wondering how do people say this is a Christmas movie, and wondering what Christmas elements were they going to have in this movie. And honestly, it was like the first 15 minutes or so, the opening intro. This movie was the whole Halloween vibe, and then Jack goes into the Christmas town and sees all the Christmas stuff, and then tries to make Christmas for his own in the Halloween town. So I can see why people might think, or get that feeling, the vibes of this sort of being a Christmas movie in a sense. And while watching this movie, I could definitely see the appeal of this movie. I could see why some people might like this movie. I could see why people like the vibes of it, the aesthetic of it. Has some interesting animation going on in it. So I do definitely get the appeal on why a lot of people might like this movie. But as far as me is concerned, I would say it's a fine movie. I didn't find myself being bored while watching this movie. It had some entertaining stuff in here. I don't really see this as a movie that I will go back to a whole lot. Maybe sometime in the future I'll watch it again, but I don't really see it as a movie that I'll put up as a tradition like some people might do for like a Halloween movie or a Christmas movie every year. But maybe one day in the future, maybe I'll watch it again if I happen to have that urge to watch it again. Honestly, it's hard to believe that this movie came out 30 years ago. It's now 30 years. It came out in 1993. Now it's 2023. Now 30 years old now. Yeah, but overall, I think it's a fine movie. Not really a movie I see as becoming a yearly tradition to watch around Halloween or the holiday season. But I had a decent time with this movie while watching it for the first time. And I definitely see the appeal and why people like this movie. Definitely gives off the creepy vibes, the Halloween vibes, and even in some parts of the movie, Christmas vibes.